Cowboys in the white on the road. This is a crimson game for New Mexico State, so they are wearing the crimson here at home. It is game 2 of a 4-game homestand and game 2 of our doubleheader tonight. The Aggie women, behind a great performance from Lucia Yenis, who scored 23, defeated the Cowgirls of New Mexico Highlands by 17 earlier tonight here at the Pan Am. The Aggie bench will be tested a little bit more without Juice Mims, so Osborne earns a start. And the Aggies will try to go to 2-0 for a second straight year. Started 3-0 a year ago. Malanga will tip it up with Williams. And we are underway. The Aggies will have the first offensive possession after shooting 41% of the opener. They did have 14 shots blocked, though, by Adams State in that opener. Here's Osborne back on the arc to Visecht. Osborne inside the arc, swings it in the corner for Anthony Visecht, and he splashes in the 3.
Beautiful rotation. Good ball movement by the Aggies first time down the court.
After last Tuesday, Jason Hooten said we did not shoot enough threes, and part of that was there wasn't enough kickouts, 2 threes. The Aggies only shot 15 threes in the opener, 5 of 15. Dix swings it to Pierce, back to Dix, 2 to shoot for the Cowboys. Fadeaway jumper is good for Robert Dix, the 6'7" junior from Atlanta.
Well, this doesn't look like a Division II team, I have to say.
No, they're big. They're big, they're physical. Pickens shoves off on B.J. Comer, and that's offensive on Pickens. It's a really deep roster. If you look at the website for New Mexico Highlands, they list about 40 guys, a lot of guys redshirting. Pretty good size, pretty good depth. A lot of Albuquerque natives as well for first-year head coach Zach Settembre. Longtime assistant for Billy Gillespie at Tarleton State, and then worked for Jason Hooten 2 years ago. There's Dante Walker, 6'6" senior guard for the Bronx, and the player was out of bounds. That was Pierce in the corner. Pickens runs the point. We'll see potentially Elijah Elliott at the point a little bit tonight. Of course, Chris Terrell as well off the bench. Post feed to Malanga. Malanga, the jump hook, too strong. Rebound cleared by Dix of New Mexico Highlands. An offensive foul is called on Nick Williams, who is trying to post up on the tough Polish guard, Anthony Visecht.
Yeah, Visecht played that perfectly.
Anthony's big and he's tough. He's strong as well. 2 minutes in, 3-2 on the Visecht triple. Osborne top of the key. They're sagging off him. Daring him to shoot. Jones out of the corner. His jumper pinballs off. High clearance there by Pierce for the Cowboys. The Aggies didn't shoot it great in the opener, only 41% for the field, but still compiled 83 points in the opener. Malanga, the steal, out of the key. Aggies want to run, no numbers. Pickens will zoom inside anyway, and Pickens will get free throws, and he shot a ton in the opener.
And that was good by Gabe Pickens. He took that hard at the basket, drew the foul. I think, you know, at his size, he's thick enough that he should be able to knock those down as the year goes on, because he's got good balance and he's tough and he's smart. I think he'll make those as the year progresses.
Russ, the Aggies had 14 shots blocked in the opener, but we knew, and we talked about it last Tuesday, that is easily fixable. And Jason Hooten felt like a big part of that wasn't necessarily just getting shots blocked around the rim. He said his players need to kick it out more for open threes.
Well, that's a good point, and I'm glad you say that, because I hadn't thought of that. But maybe I think maybe they've underestimated Adams State and thought, well, these are Division II guys, we'll just take it right at them, and maybe making poor decisions and should have passed the ball.
Pickens stays perfect from the free throw line, 6 for 6 this year.
Maybe that means be my fourth key to the game.
There you go. Osborne gets in the passing lane. He scoops it up in the end line. Jones passes up the three, had it stripped, trying to grab it, throws it away. Stolen by Dix of New Mexico Highlands. Dix almost lost it. Here's Pierce. Back to Dix, working on Jones, barrels his way inside and scores right over the 6'4" Jamel Jones.
Well, Dix has been impressive so far, the Midland transfer.
Pickens in the corner for Visecht. His three is too strong. Dix wants to run. There's B.J. Comer, swings it in the corner. Walker's three too strong. Only one rebounder there, that's Osborne. Pickens to Osborne. And that post entry is kicked away by Walker. Up coming in for the Cowboys is Ibrahima Sacco, who during the summer was in the Aggie program briefly. Transfer from New Mexico as well. Playing in his first game for Highlands here. Pickens speeds inside, the kick out, right idea, bad pass in between Jones and Osborne.
Well, number one for the Cowboys was open, Dante Walker, but that's not going to help the Aggies.
But it's the right idea by Pickens.
That's
trying
right.
to drive a kick.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that. I think that's I'd have to go back and watch the film like Jason Hooten did, or I'd have to be half as smart as Jason Hooten. But I think that's probably a good point. Is when the Aggies do get in deep, they might need to kick it out for a three.
Here's Sacco, who played against and with Osborne a couple months ago. So the Aggies should know him well. Was in the program for a couple of months. A very late sign after transferring from UNM. Hard move to the rim for Comer, and his teardrop goes in. Highlands by a point.
Well, that's one of the things I did talk about, Adam, is that the Aggies, they've got to control the driver. They do spend a lot of time in practice on screen and roll and that kind of thing. But as Lou Henson used to say, one guy's in trouble, everyone's in trouble.
First action tonight for Elijah Elliott, who bounces in the corner to Jones. Defended by Sacco. Mismatch here. Let's see if Jones takes advantage. Sacco poked it. Visecht has it. No change of possession. One to shoot for Osborne. Fade away, got rim. And it's cleared by Valentin Cat, who's off the bench for the Cowboys. Pierce defended by Visecht. Randall and Mullen getting ready to check in next at ball for New Mexico State. Under 10 to shoot for Comer. Reset with Pierce, the senior guard who averages just under 17 a game. And he shoots a three and hits it over Visecht.
That was an impressive step back by the New Jersey native, Marcus Pierce.
He's off to a hot start, shooting the ball 3 of 4 from 3 to start his season. Elliott is bumped by Comer at midcourt, and that will send us to a media. Aggies haven't scored in 3 minutes. Visecht made a 3 earlier. It's a 4-point lead for Highlands here at the first media. He's had a great coaching career. He's spent some time at a JUCO as a head coach, and of course, worked under Billy Gillespie at Tarleton State. He was at Coastal Carolina, then here. But he was telling me earlier today he's never coached at the Division II level until now, and that could take some time to get adjusted to because it is a different level, but so far, so good tonight for Highlands.
Well, Zach Settembre was at travel, but as Zach Settembre has an impressive resume, and he's won everywhere he's gone.
Worked for a long time under Billy Gillespie at Tarleton State. Also on the end of his bench is Stein, who was a grad assistant for New Mexico State 2 years ago when Zach was here. Brings it for Dix. Pierce works around Elliott, blocked away by Augustine Ekwe, the true freshman. 5-on-4 for the Aggies if they hurry. Post touch for Ekwe, spins, jump hook is short, gets it back, puts it up and puts it in right over the 6'10" Valentin Cat.
I'm telling you, he's got terrific potential, Augustine Ekwe.
Cat, the veteran grad student from Cameroon, gave him a shoulder on the other end, and Ekwe was looking for an offensive foul on this end of the floor. Sacco, the kick in the corner to Comer. Crosses over on Visech. Back to the arc for Pierce, who can really fill it up. Dix misfires from 3. Visech the clearance. Here's Elliott working the pick and roll with Ekwe. Lobs it up top to Ekwe. Missed it short. Pretty good look. Malanga and Chris Terrell getting set to check in for the Aggies coming up. Nearly thrown away. Snagged by Comer. On the wing for Pierce. Visech draws that assignment. Comer on the baseline. Katz. Right-handed shot put floater is no good. 5-on-4 again. Elliott a step back 3. Yes, sir, for Elijah Elliott. He can fill it up.
Yes. He looked fully confident there. They didn't really get into any offense. I think Elijah Elliott just felt it, and he was correct.
I don't think he needs a flow to get rolling. He's been scoring everywhere he's been at his 6th different school in 6 years, and he scored everywhere. Sacco couldn't catch it. Mullen applies pressure, and Mullen fouls it. Jason Hooten was looking for Mullen to get up tight, but not that tight on Sacco. First action for Chris Terrell, who comes in for Visech. Ekwe goes off and Malanga returns. First action for Trey Tate, number 3 for Highlands. Williams hands it off to Pierce. Here's Tate. Sacco a corner 3. Didn't know that was in his arsenal. And a foul is called as Dix was working his way to the rim. We only saw Kyrese Mullen-Russ play 5 minutes a week ago last Tuesday. And he's in early here in the first 8 minutes today. Now he's going to go off as Osborne comes in, but Mullen coming in much earlier than he did a week ago.
Yeah, I think Coach Hooten is disappointed he's fouling a guy 45 feet from the basket. That's the last thing you want your big men to do.
And he just picked up his 2nd personally at 3 fouls in 5 minutes a week ago. Williams the skip out to Tate. All-the-way jumper way off. Malanga trying to grab it. It's loose, and Malanga bumps Sacco. That's a ball that Jason Hooten feels like New Mexico State should have grabbed. Osborne had it and could not corral it. 5th game since last Monday for Highlands. Game 2 for New Mexico State. Trying to go to 2 games tonight for the Aggies in the Crimson, rolling with Terrell, Malanga, Elliott, Osborne, and then Jalen Randall. The Aggies 3 of 9 from the field, but 2 of 4 from 3, so they lead by 1. Osborne trying to block this shot from behind, but sneaking it in front of him was Nick Williams, the junior from Plano.
Well, and Sear Malanga left his feet, and in doing so left his man as well, just sort of made the Aggies pretty vulnerable there.
Chris Terrell, who was a star at Division II, in the corner to Elliott. His 3 too strong, and a rebound on the backside, Nick Williams. Marcus Pierce out of the backcourt for Highlands. Defended by Elliott. Jamel Jones about ready to check in again. Good look for Tate from the corner. Offensive rebound, Sacco, who just beat Osborne to the ball. Ten to shoot for the Cowboys. Here's Sacco looking high-low, and Malanga batted it away. Poor pass, and tripped was Terrell. He never fell, but the official signal tripping on Cowboys, and it's team foul number 3 on them. Officials telling Sacco to tuck his shirt in. Jamel Jones back in the game. Would likely think that the offense will run through number 21 in crimson here on this possession right here. Terrell running the point. Ball screen out by midcourt from Malanga. Randall heaves a three. Back rim no good. Malanga came down with it. And we're going to see if he improved his free throw shooting from last Tuesday.
Well, it was a terrific offensive rebound. And I'd like to, he's going to need to make that as the year goes on, because the Aggies are only going to play against bigger and stronger opponents. But let's see how he does at the free throw line here.
Jason Hooten said that on Sunday morning it was him and Sear Malanga in the gym together working on Malanga's free throw shooting. So if he makes his free throws tonight, we can call Jason the shot doctor now.
All right, good enough. Let's see how he did on his Sunday extra homework.
There was a couple of mechanical things that Jason Hooten said he was working with Malanga on, and he misses too strong.
But that one looked good.
It looked good. And now Jason Hooten's saying you're flat, and that's one of the things Jason was talking about from last week is it was too flat. Not enough arc on the free throw for Malanga. He was 2 for 9 a week ago. He is a 42% career free throw shooter. Looked better on those two, but missed both.
Yeah, well, he was robbed on that second one there, but looks like it might be another Sunday with Coach Hooten coming up for Sear Malanga.
Handoff goes to Dix, defended by Randall. Dix on the arc to Pierce, maneuvers around Terrell. Tipped up in the air, and it's grabbed by Jamel Jones. He has teammates behind him, and he's going to back it out with no numbers. Now he goes backdoor to Malanga, who had great positioning initially on Sacco, but couldn't take advantage. A held ball, and possession goes to New Mexico Highlands. That was a great pass from Jamel Jones. Sear Malanga couldn't have had a much better position in the interior right there.
Yeah, maybe shouldn't have dribbled it, which is exactly what Coach Hooten is suggesting from the sideline. He was 3 feet from the basket. There's no point in dribbling.
Aggies going with Terrell, Osborne, Randall, Jones, and Malanga. A little three-quarter court pressure, carved up easily by Highlands. Latavius Morris in the game for the first time, number 5 in white. Terrell got his hand on it and stole it away. Ahead for Jalen Randall. Blocked by the freshman Morris from behind. How about that recovery for Morris, who only stands 5'8".
Yeah, pretty good recovery by Latavius Morris. And we talked about Latavius Morris before the game. Watch him hustle here. He's one of Brandon Mason's guys from ABC Prep in Albuquerque. And Brandon had texted me today and said, watch that kid hustle. And boy, was he right.
Chris Terrell just deflected another ball. Led all of Division II in steals per game a year ago with 3.5. And his hands are everywhere right now on this end of the floor. 9:05 left, opening half. Low scoring first half. The Aggies 3 for 12 from the field. Tate's three, misfires. And it cannot be saved in the corner by Walker. Russ, I love watching Chris Terrell defend, and I know Jason Hooten loves defense, so I'm sure Jason loves it as much as anybody, if not more. He just gets his hand in the passing lane. He really wants to guard on that end of the floor.
Yeah, but he anticipates. That's right, and he anticipates well, and he's long-armed. Didn't you say he led Division II in steals a year ago? Yeah. And there's a reason for that. And one thing we've talked about this quite a bit is the difference often with Division II and Division III is not the guards. I mean, Division II and Division I, sorry, is not the guards. This is the big guys are bigger in Division I. And so I think Chris Terrell is a great find for Jason Hooten.
Malanga staying strong with it, flips it from Osborne. Still only one shot attempt for Jamel Jones. Malanga, low block, inside outside to Terrell. Fights his way in the key, stuffs it in the corner to Randall. 2 to shoot. Bumped on the jumper, swirls off. But Randall will shoot a pair. I think the one thing with Chris Terrell that he's had to overcome the last couple of months, Russ, is the physicality of the Division I game, especially when he goes up against a guy like Gabe Pickens every day, who's like a bulldozer. He's physical, and I think that's made Chris Terrell much better over time with that physicality at this level.
I think that's right. Chris Terrell is thin, but he's wiry, strong. He's built like a middleweight fighter. You know, he's bony and muscly, and he's got wide shoulders. I don't think he'll get pushed around much. I think he just has to get used to getting bumped.
Randall now 4 for 4 from the free throw line this season. Visached in for Randall. Mentioned the Cowboys have played a lot of games the previous week in one day. They played an exhibition last Monday against Division I North Texas. Only trailed by 7 at halftime. I believe a timeout was given to Zach Settembre. Let's see. He wanted one. Zach Settembre wanted a timeout. And it's going to be inbound for the Cowboys. I'm not sure what the call was then. Didn't get the timeout, and they get to inbound it. Maybe an inadvertent whistle, I guess. I don't know. 10 to shoot for Dix. Blocked by Jones, and a foul was called on Jamel Jones, and he's stunned. He can't believe it. To the naked eye, it seemed like it was all ball in that block shot for Jones.
Unless they called him with a bump beforehand, but if that's true, it was a late whistle.
Yeah.
If they're calling the bump beforehand, it was a bit of a late whistle. He did bump him before the shot.
Right. It's been a gauntlet of a schedule for New Mexico Highlands. You go back to last Monday, the exhibition against North Texas when they only trailed by 7 at the break. And then last weekend, they were in Montana against 3 just high-level D2 programs of us. Montana State Billings, Angelo State, Central Missouri. Those are 3 of the very, very best Division II programs historically. There was some blood on the shirt there for Dix, so they're going to swap it out before he shoots a second free throw. Somebody's bleeding, and it might be Visached. That's how Dix got the blood on his shirt. A couple guys are bleeding. Everybody's changing. But Russ, going back to last weekend, I mean, you're playing 3 games in 3 days for Zach Settembre and 3 really good programs. More on that on the other side. They're going to send us to a media with the wardrobe changes galore here at Lou Henson Court. Aggies by 1, late in half 1. I think the guilty party, for lack of a better phrase, was Visached. I think Anthony Visached was bleeding, which led to blood on the shirts and jersey for a couple different players. I think it was Visached.
And now Sacco will be wearing 35, it looks like. Is that correct, Adam?
Sacco's wearing 35, and it appears that's the only jersey change for either squad. One free throw coming up for Dix. And he makes 1 out of 2. Need some offense here, Russ. It's been a slow start. 3 of 12 from the field. 5 turnovers, and the Aggies -3 rebounding right now. A zone defense here for Highlands.
Yeah, 1-3-1 with Latavius on the baseline at about 5'7".
Six turnovers now after that pass was thrown away by the freshman Ekwe. Osborne switches on defense and guards Walker. Walker picks up his dribble and nowhere to go with it. 5 to shoot for the freshman, Latavius Morris, who's averaging 7 a game. Did he get a rim? Didn't matter. Player was out of bounds, and it's back to New Mexico State on this end of the floor. Smart move by Zach Settembre. New Mexico State sputtering right now on offense, and they decide to switch it up for possession and go to the zone.
Yep, and here they are back man-to-man.
Pickens, Osborne, Ekwe, Jones, and Visached. The Aggies had more rhythm on offense last Tuesday for sure.
Boy, they look out of sync here. They're botching handoffs.
Jones hangs. Ekwe slams it back in. It was just outside the cylinder. The miss by Jones, and Ekwe has 4.
Well, he's been one of the few really bright spots up in the first 13 minutes of the half here. But you can't put your hands on a guy like that, Augustine.
Get a whistle and a foul away from the ball called on Ekwe. First foul on Equate, his team foul number 6. Russ, when you're sputtering this year in offense, I think you just have to kind of get the ball to Jamel Jones and let him help the team work through it.
Well, I think that's right, and maybe don't rely on three-pointers. But it's the turnovers that have plagued the Aggies up till now. They have more turnovers than they do baskets.
Late in the shot clock again for the Cowboys. 3 is good out of the corner for B.J. Comer. Lead back to Highlands. 6 and change left here in the opening half. Aggies scored 83 in the opener. Only 14 right now. Jones to Pickens. Extra pass. Besetched off the marker in his 3. Osborne the offensive rebound. Jones working to the rim. His shot is no good. Gets it back and sticks it in.
Well, that's what he needs. There was an easy basket. An 8th grader could have made that one, but that will get him going. Now watch. Mark my words, Adam. He'll cut loose a little bit now after getting on the scoreboard.
Lead back to New Mexico State, 16-15. Tip try by Sacco, no good. Cutting inside is Dix, and he's fouled going up.
No, but sometimes it's just the easy basket that gets a guy, or a free throw, that gets a scorer going, and I think this might be the thing that gets Jamel Jones to turn the corner.
Colidar to Besetch, that's his first. Team foul number 7, our Jason Hooten squad here in half 1. Free throw rattles off, no good for Dix, who is 1 for 3. Elliott back in. Dix misfires on both, and it's cleared by Osborne. Here comes Elliott. Jones in the mid-range. Right on cue, Russ. Look at you. It's like you've done this before.
Well, yeah, almost. Except for that, I mean, it's pretty obvious Jamel Jones is a terrific player. But he just needed to get in his rhythm and get his confidence. And I think the floodgates might break open here.
This is Walker, final 5:10 in half 1. Blocked by Osborne and out of bounds. Jamel Jones getting a chance to play in front of his dad, who's in attendance from Chicago here tonight, Russ.
That's right, Drake Jones, who was a pretty good high school player himself at Harlan High School on the far south side. Harlan used to be a Chicago powerhouse back in those days.
This is the biggest first half lead for New Mexico State at 3. 5 seconds. Marcus Pierce never got it in. Well, Jason Hooten has said the last week as well, he said we're still trying to figure out where Jamel Jones is going to be on the floor as a team. So his teammates are still trying to figure out what spots Jamel wants to be in and needs to be in to score on offense. This extended zone defense again for Highlands. Jones, mid-range.
I'm wrong more than I'm right, Adam. I'll just confess on the air. Maybe I'm right on this one, but a lot of things. But I thought that the easy layup would get him going.
That's 2 straight possessions after the layup. Backing up is Dix. 4 1/4 left here in half 1. Might have been a travel, no call though on Dix. Spinning Pierce, excellent D by Elliott. 1 to shoot, blocked by Besetch, and that's a violation.
Great effort by Anthony Besetch. But speaking of how tired Highlands might be as we watch this great defense by the Polish rifle there, aren't you tired from doing the women's game also?
No, I'm ready to go, Russ.
Right,
it
good.
is week 2.
Wow.
There is no wear and tear.
I saw Pat Knapp yawning on his way. He looked exhausted, and here you are bouncing back.
6-0 Aggie run over the previous minute 30. Jones will try his hand at a 3. Good box out there by Highlands, and it's grabbed by Dix. Sacco wearing 35 after blood got on his jersey earlier when he was wearing number 7. Get immediate timeout, next dead ball. Stolen, Visech to the rim. Layup is good. +1 for Anthony Visech.
Well, he's been terrific on defense today, and that's 2 great defensive stops in a row for Anthony Visech.
Well, when signs of trouble occur, you go to the veterans. There's a lot of them. Jamel Jones doing the scoring. Visech, the great defense. And then the offense. 1 free throw on the other side for Visech. As you're watching instead of playing, so he feels like he really improved that part of his game, the mental side, because he just sat there and watched games for a couple of months.
Yes, and probably could not wait to get back on the court, and he's certainly, that's obvious from watching his effort here.
6 for Jones and 6 for Visech. Almost a steal for him at midcourt. And he apparently bumped Marcus Pierce. There wasn't a whole lot there, but Pierce didn't have
I think
anywhere to go.
I was going to say, I think that would not have been called had he not stepped on the line, and maybe the referee felt like he had to call that one. I think it was the right call.
1-and-1 coming up for Pierce. He shot a lot of free throws this year, 19 of 22 coming in. Terrell comes in for Visech, who just picked up his 2nd personal. Remember last Tuesday, he was in foul trouble in half 1. So he'll try to improve on that going forward. Stay out of foul trouble, stay on the floor.
Well, we had talked about that last game, remember, Adam, at the start of the game about avoiding fouls. You know, the Aggies are so aggressive in practice, but there's no referees there.
Right.
And they have to adjust to the whistle. And, of course, every referee, every crew of referees will be slightly different.
It was a real issue last year. I recall the first month of the season last year, the Aggies were fouling as much as anybody around the country. And then really cleaned it up as the season went on. Corner 3, Randall. Didn't even grab the cylinder on that shot. Pretty good look. Elliott guards Pierce, who approaches midcourt. Ball screen, Sacco. Pierce going to work. Bounces back door. Help side defense late. Stuck in by Walker.
Well, Jalen Randall lost sight of the ball just for a split second, and that was all it took for his man to go back door.
Terrell, Malaga, Jones, Elliott, and Randall on the floor. Terrell skips it for Elliott. Made a 3 earlier. Splits. Kicks. Jones passes up a 3. The patience here. Elliott fakes the spin. Bounces to Randall, and it was out of bounds. .226 left here in the first half. Highlands trying to really make this interesting at halftime. Remember, they only trailed by 7 against North Texas in their exhibition a week ago. That was at halftime as well. Pierce a drive and a kick. Dix, his 3 is good. Knocks it down over Jalen Randall.
Well, Dix has been impressive. You know, when he first took the court, I thought, well, this is an inside player, but he's very versatile. He's strong enough and big enough to play inside, but he's pretty skilled.
Terrell with some room. Randall swings it for Jones. His 3, good. Jamel Jones with 9. Jones with 9 after not scoring the first 11 or 12 minutes of that first half. Pierce. Elliott had the key. Defending Walker. And a traveling violation on Walker. You know, Russ, last Tuesday I felt like you look up and Jones has 20, right? I mean, it was a pretty quiet 23 I felt like a week ago because he did it on 14 shots, and right now 9 points on 4 of 8. He's really efficient for a high-level score.
Yes, he's very efficient. He doesn't put up bad shots. I don't think, have we seen him put up a bad shot since we've watched him?
I don't recall one. That's an illegal screen on Malanga. So the ball goes back to the Cowboys with 1:11 left.
And of course, Adam, that's a turnover. An offense, any kind of offensive foul is counts as a turnover, as we see Sir Malanga go to the bench to discuss things with Coach Hooten.
Ekwe comes in for Malanga. The Aggies without Juice Mims tonight. He's in concussion protocol. It's a massive loss tonight. Juice had 12 points and 8 rebounds in the opener. It's poked away, but Randall couldn't find it. Under a minute left here in the opening half. And Zach Setembere wants to use a timeout and draws something up with the 11 left to shoot. At some point, you have to feel like tired legs could be an issue for Highlands after playing 5 games in 8 days. A lot of travel mixed in as well. They were at North Texas last Monday. They were in Montana last weekend, never went back home. They went to Albuquerque. Of course, flew into Albuquerque and then came up here yesterday. So a lot of travel, but still a lot of energy on the other bench.
Yeah, but that's quite a lot of miles, and although it's the same time zone, I suppose, but that's a lot of miles, and I don't know, but they don't seem flat now. Maybe they'll wear out in the second half, but they certainly came to play. And this, of course, is a huge game as an in-state game for them, a Division I game for Highlands. It's a huge game for them. And if the Aggies are looking forward to the Lobos on Saturday, that would be a mistake. Because this is a team I think that could beat the Aggies tonight.
Aggies beat Highlands by 36 a year ago, 49 2 years ago. But I think it's pretty safe to say this is not the same Highlands program from a couple of years ago.
No, to say the least. I think Zach Setembere looks like he's put together a really good team. It's just that he's the new coach and there's a lot of new players.
Let's see what he drew up here. Under 10 to shoot for Pierce. Backdoor to Dix, gets the defender in the air and lays it in. Nice play design, and Highlands is within 4. Check that, 2. Pickens looking for Jones. Dix defends. Jones calling for an Ekwe ball screen. He'll use it. Jones stumbles out to midcourt. Sacco all over him. Finds Terrell for 3, and he cans it.
Well, great decision by Jamel Jones.
Terrell guarding Pierce. Floater, no good. And the Aggies grab the miss. It was a close first half. 6 lead changes, a couple of ties as well. And it's a 29-24 Aggie lead here at the halftime break. 9 for Jones, Visech with 6. A late 3 for Chris Terrell. Halftime activities up next.
Get the Aggies going here.
We need to remind folks, Pickens is only a sophomore. I mean, he's still learning. Only played 11 minutes a game a year ago. Post touch for Jones, scoops it up in the corner. Guarded tightly by Dix, spins on Dix, works inside, dump off to Malanga, who's bumped and one. The patience by Jones to find Sear Malanga, the 6'11 post.
What's one of the things I love about Jamel Jones is there's 3 guys on him, and he could have shot that anyway. He did not. Just the perfect feed to Sear Malanga.
There you go, Malanga. 1 for 3, but I feel like all 3 looked much better than last Tuesday when he went 2 for 9.
Yeah, especially the middle one was sort of in and out.
Terrell guarding Pierce tightly. Dix. This matches the Aggies' biggest lead of the night. Hand off to Comer. Trying to turn the corner on Jones. 6 to shoot. Pinballs around. Grab by Malanga. Aggies push. Jones says, move ahead, Chris Terrell. Jones open. Surges in the key. Stripped away and stolen by Dante Walker. Jason Hooten wanted a foul call, didn't get it. And then Walker dribbles it off his left foot.
Well, Jacoby Osborne is so active defensively. He's got fast hands and he's got exactly the right attitude. He's a real stopper and caused that turnover.
Ibrahima Sacco returns, so does Valentin Cat for the Cowboys and head coach Zach Setembere. Terrell brings the Aggies out of the backcourt. Trying to get Jones free again. Terrell finds Jones. Malanga posted up. Up high for Osborne. Looking high-low. Malanga catches, and Malanga finishes, but wave it off. Foul before the shot. It's on the ground. On the Cowboys.
Well, good smart positioning by Sir Malanga there, and he timed it perfectly.
Malanga, big dude. He's 6'11", junior from the Congo. Transfer from East Carolina. Terrell lobbing it in for Jones. The Aggies trying to grab their biggest lead of the night. Jones 18 feet away. Yes. Double figures for Jones with 11 after 23 a week ago. Sacco fumbles the catch. Osborne almost picked it away. Comer backing up on Jones. Ball screen from Cat. Late in the shot clock again for the Cowboys. Poked away and stolen by Osborne, and he gets upended by Marcus Pierce.
Well,
foul on the Cowboys.
That turnover was caused by Jamel Jones, who was very active there. He sort of trapped and caused the turnover.
Russ, you've seen a lot of practices. He is fully bought in on both ends of the floor, which is something Jason Hooten wanted to see and a big reason why he came here. He wanted to be coached.
I'll admit, as you know, Adam, I'm wrong quite a bit. I'll admit that I was wrong. I did not think that he would defend the way he has. I just thought he's got the reputation of a scorer, and you know that he had the big name coming in and that kind of thing. But he has, and I've been to practices where Coach Hooten is on him hard. But boy, his junior, he played for John Pagatti in junior college. It was relentless on his kids and won a national championship. So anyway, but I'm still surprised that he's bought in the way he has defensively.
Foul number 3 on Morris. Latavius Morris, the freshman from Albuquerque. Wrap it up on Terrell right there. Easy call. Ekway in the high post. Hands it off to Jones. A wing 3. Yes, sir. Heat him up. 14 for Jamel Jones. The Aggies outscoring the Cowboys 8-zip here in the half. Backdoor to Sacco, a one-handed flush. And a quick timeout called by Zach Settembre and the Cowboys. Their first bucket of the half comes with a Sacco jam to snap the Aggies' 8-0 run to start the half. An 11-0 run going back to the first half with the made 3 from Terrell before the break. Aggies lead by 11, trying to pull away here in game 2 at home. Osborne Jones. Visech and Augustine Ekway. No Juice Mims tonight, unavailable, concussion protocol. Hopeful to have him back on Saturday. There's that extended zone again for the Cowboys. Terrell way off on the 3. Sacco hard of the rim again, and that is goaltending on Ekway. So 2 straight buckets at the rim for Sacco.
And would that have gone in if he hadn't touched it, Adam? I couldn't
tell. So. I think it was going to go in anyway.
And Highlands in the 1-3-1 again.
Jones slices through the defense. Terrell fires it in the corner for Visech. His post entry batted away and stolen by Dix. Pierce inside, and Pierce wheels inside and scores. 6-0 run.
Well, I remember how mild-mannered Zach Settembre seemed when he was the assistant coach, but he certainly has a different demeanor as a head coach. He's after them, and they're playing hard.
The zone working right now as well for the Cowboys. Visech skips it to Jones, who catches on the low block. Came down with it, and Ekway sticks it in. Four new Aggies getting ready to check in next chance. Zacco trying to hand it off, fumbled it, taken by Terrell. Aggies trying to get out and run. Lob for Osborne, who jams it on the oop.
Well, perfect pass by Jamel Jones, and he had every right to just go score that one himself, but he saw Jacoby for the lob.
We haven't been able to see the Aggies get out and run very much here tonight. One of the very few fast break opportunities right there. And Osborne's in a lot of pain. I think he got kneed. And he was in pain that entire possession and having some issues trying to get off on his own. So this will send us to a media 41-30. Aggies outscoring Highlands by 6.5 after this alley-oop jam from Jacoby Highlands. And the job they've done defending this Aggie offense as well.
Well, they're certainly a lot better than their record. I'm going to predict they'll have a good season this year. They'll do very well in conference, I bet.
Zacco fouled on his way to the rim. Zacco did not play in the first 3 games for Highlands, making his season debut tonight. They're going to call the foul on Kyrese Mullen, who's only played a couple of minutes. He has 3 fouls here tonight. Mullen had 3 fouls in 5 minutes in the opener. And his role is bigger tonight too, Russ, with Mims out. I mean, Mullen needs to step up. Ackway's playing more.
Yes, and he had a terrific career at Hampton before he transferred to the Aggies. The Aggies are going to need him to get untracked.
And that will frustrate Jason Hooten so much. 2 missed free throws and then an offensive rebound. And then his foul as well. This one should be on the ground level. Let's see. Now it's going to be free throws coming up for Comer. Number 2 on Jamel Jones. First free throw good for Comer, who has 6. It's Malanga who gave up that offensive rebound, so that's why he gets pulled for Ekway. 2-for-2 trip for Comer. Pickens, Randall Ekway, Mullen, and Jamel Jones on the floor. Hand off back to Pickens. Swings it for Randall. Post touch Ekway. Zacco defends. Jump hook good for Augustine Ekway.
Yeah, I wanted him to go with that sooner. He was down there by himself at 6 feet from the basket. Nice jump hook by Augustine Ekway.
Comer lost it. Stolen by Randall. Aggies want to get out and run. Jones, Pickens, post touch again for Ekway. Spins around the defender. Reverse layup is good for Augustine Ekway. Double figures for the freshman from Nigeria. Played his prep ball at Wasatch Academy, a great prep program, one of the best around the country. Zacco, his second three-point try. And this foul, I think, is going to be on Ekway. And Jason Hooten says no way. He's battling there with the veteran, Valentin Cat. Let's see here. Ekway battling. I don't know what he did.
I don't know. That could have gone either way, I think. We might not have the right angle for that.
And now an offensive foul is called. Maybe a makeup right there. It's called on Nick Williams, who has battled foul trouble all night. That's his fourth. Not sure what he did. Williams has only played 5 minutes. He just picked up his fourth. Mullen a post touch. Going to wave off the basket, a foul called before Mullen put up the shot. Russ, he can be a real threat. You just mentioned it moments ago. I mean, when he was at Hampton, which is Division I. He was 15 a game 2 years ago. I mean,
Yeah.
he can be a real threat on offense.
Had 9 rebounds.
There's Mullen down low, stays patient and scores. He's really good around the rim at finishing.
Yeah, big wide body.
Jones bats it away.
He's a better defender than I thought. Like he's a pretty good defender, Jamel Jones, who had his hand in the passing lane there.
Looks like Osborne's going to stretch out, maybe get on the bike and try to come back in, it looks like, potentially. Let's see. Trey Tate for 3, way off. And it's last touch by Randall.
And Adam, the Aggies are getting out-rebounded here by Highlands. They've been out-rebounded by 2 or 3 rebounds for the night.
They were only +4 in the opener. Looks like the officials are going to check this maybe to see if it was out on New Mexico State. And the officials at the monitor, I think they're going to check to see who touched it last.
Anita Maxwell's wearing Highlands colors over there. Anita Skipper, sorry.
Russ, how much of the rebounding, though, is not having Juice Mims tonight, who could be your best rebounder this year?
Well, could be a little bit. That's a good point. But the Aggies are going to have to. They're going to have their. If they rebound like this on Saturday night, it'll be a long night. And do we have any indication whether Juice Mims will be back 100% for Saturday, or that's how it looked? Yeah.
Hopeful, yeah.
Did he practice this week? Or not,
he was in concussion protocol.
Yeah.
Looks like it is out on Randall, and it's going to stay Highlands ball as anticipated. Kind of hard to see there. Lob in goes to Williams. Here's Dante Walker, the senior for the Bronx. Pierce can't turn the corner. Tate's 3 is good. The foul is going to be called on Ekwe as well. So the 3 is going to be good. And Highlands is going to keep the ball here as Ekwe cleared out. And gets called for his 3rd personal. So Malanga comes in for him.
Well, this could be a 5-point play for Highlands. And that's what I mean is, you know, during practice there's no referees there, and the Aggies have a tendency to push and grab a little bit.
Could have been a 6-point trip. Tate misfires on the 3. Malanga down low. Digging deep was Walker, and he rolls out of bounds.
I think Jason Hooten just told him if you dribble the ball under the basket again one time, you're coming out of the game.
The entire bench telling him, just go straight up. You're 6'11". Easier said than done. I get that for sure, though. The Aggies will inbound in front of their bench. Lead was 15 moments ago, the highest lead today. A lot of minutes for Mullen off the bench. Jones, 3 from the corner, no good. Randall grabbed it, back of the arc to Pickens. The shot clock a fresh 20. Jones maneuvers in the key, spins, contested jumper, that's a tough shot, and he drains it.
There's nearly a 360 in terms of rotation there.
And he's so big too, he's 6'4", it's hard to block his shot.
Well, he's 6'4" with arms like a 6'7" guy.
Right. Foul is called on the arc as Pierce was zipping in the lane. It's the Aggies' 5th already in the half, not even 8 minutes in as Elijah Elliott comes in.
That's a tough shot there. That's good body control, good balance.
Foul number 2 on Pickens. So I assume Elijah Elliott will run the point with this grouping right here. Tate back door, and Mullen just picked up his 4th foul.
Well, it's not many minutes for Tyrese Mullen to pick up 4 fouls.
4 fouls, 6 minutes. He had 3 fouls, 5 minutes in the opener. So he's going to have to find a way to stay out of foul trouble and limited action here. Good news is Osborne's okay, and he's going to check in. Despite the foul trouble, Russ, these are quality minutes they're getting from Kyrie Smolin, which is a good sign going forward.
Yes, especially if Juice Mims is not available on Saturday.
And a foul on Osborne on the box out. There's been some interesting fouls and some interesting situations here today.
Yes.
Peculiar. That's foul number 7, so 1 and 1 coming up for Nick Williams.
It looks like Dante Walker got bumped in the nose, maybe. It's almost like he's got something in his eyes.
Yeah.
He better recover
Still
here
in
in the
pain.
next 5 seconds.
Both free throws good for Williams, who was averaging 10 points and 8 rebounds a game before tonight. He's had a problem staying on the floor with those 4 fouls. Walker goes off. Aggie lead down to 11. Nearly 8 minutes into this second half. Elijah Elliott running the point. Jones on the curl. Teardrop for Jamel Jones. He's scoring at every single level here tonight, Russ.
Yeah, it's all, he's done everything except sell popcorn. Maybe he sold popcorn at intermission.
We've seen the 3. We've seen him score around the rim. We've seen the 18-footer. The runner there from inside 15 feet. Malanga with good verticality, a better finish for Nick Williams, who has 4 points in the previous 2 trips. Jones calling for it. Jones on the end line. Jones will get free throws when we come back. Just work through Jamel. He was the newcomer of the year last year in the Big West, played for CSU Bakersfield. He was the marquee off-season addition, and he's showing the Aggies why. Aggies lead by 11. Jones free throws on the other side when we come back. Yeah, I tried getting Coach at the radio coaches show last night to talk about UNM, and he said, I have no clue. He said, I am one game at a time.
Yeah.
When we get done with Highlands, I'll get the film and the scouting report and dig in on the Lobos.
You were seeing if I was as disciplined as Jason Hooten.
Trying to slip it in.
Yeah, well, the answer is I'm not as disciplined as Jason Hooten, but I'll try to be.
You know, speaking of Brandon Mason, I know so many folks, us included, so proud of what Brandon's done with that academy in Albuquerque. Just a fine, fine man who has a lot of fans here down south in southern New Mexico for sure.
And don't forget the 2004 Player of the Year in Ireland.
Yes, he led you to a championship.
Yeah, I'll never forget. He was just a great player, especially when the game was on the line.
Here's Latavius Morris, and an offensive foul is called on the rebound on Highlands. If it's on Williams, he's done. Yep, that is all for Williams, who is finally able to find a rhythm. He fouls out at the 11-10 mark. We might get a free throw shooting exhibition the rest of the way. Both teams in the bonus, 11-10 left. One and one for Sear Malanga. Jalen Randall, his second offensive rebound. Deseched, guarded by the much shorter Latavius Morris, and he throws it away. As you can tell, offensively, still just trying to get in sync. It's going to take some time.
Yeah, I mean, he was gangbusters the first 5 minutes of the game.
Morris guarded by Elliott. Trying to snake around Elliott, throws up a shot. A late foul is called. And we'll get more free throws coming up. So Elliott bails out, the freshman from Atrisco Heritage Academy in Albuquerque. One more free throw for Morris coming up. 62% free throw shooter this year. Makes both. The Aggies still searching for that long run. We haven't seen a long stretch. We'll try to get that here to pull away. Jones on the bench. Where does the offense come from? Elliott working around Morris, and that is offensive on Elijah Elliott.
Latavius Morris is a little ball of fire. Just great ball pressure by Latavius Morris.
Just a little bit of a hook right there, and then at the end, a shove off, and Morris sold it well. We'll put Elliott on the bench and Terrell back in. You can tell there is still a pretty open competition at the point between Terrell Pickens and Elijah Elliott. Those three guys battling for those minutes. Sacco whips it out to Morris. Contested three for Tate. Tipped out and grabbed by Sacco in the corner. There's an open player. Nobody's guarding Dix. Morris a wing three. He swishes it in. Down to single figures at the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, well, Highlands won't go away here. Imagine that. And again, yeah, Zach September has been successful everywhere he's gone as a head coach, and he's been around as an assistant, he's been around very good head coaches himself.
Terrell's pass deflected. Visach saves it on the sideline. Terrell gets it back from Malanga. Lobs it up high to Malanga. Heck of a catch. That was not easy. They should give him 2 free throws here. I think he was going up with it. And it was team foul number 10 anyway, so 2 free throws the rest of the way. Friendly bounce. Malanga 2 for 5 today, 2 for 9 a week ago.
And that'll help his confidence, any kind of friendly roll. Let's see if you can get 2 in a row here.
It's the miss. Going to work again on Sacco. Goes up with it, hits the side of the backboard, and it's snagged in by Tate. Morris works on Visach and draws contact.
Well, that was an ill-advised follow-up by Sir Malanga. He had 3 guys on him. That should have been. It was great hustle to get it, but that should have been passed.
Morris will shoot 2 free throws, and Zach September will draw something up with his 4 other guys during the free throws. It was right around this juncture last week when the Aggies grew their lead against Adams State to 20. And Adams State cut it to 5 late in the game before the Aggies pulled away. Lead was 15 a little bit ago for New Mexico State in this one. Morris gets 1 out of 2. Jamel Jones still on the bench. Terrell, Randall, Ekwe, Visach, and Osborne. 2 ball screeners there. Terrell swings it to Randall. Here's Terrell, maneuvers in the key, throws up a shot, and he'll get free throws. Terrell, a good free throw shooter a season ago at Division II Delta State, 77%. He's 1 for 2 this year. Both attempts coming a week ago. Russ, this will be interesting to watch really on this year. Who kind of grabs hold of that point guard spot? It's been Pickens starting, but Terrell started half 2. Elijah Elliott's played some point again tonight. And it's kind of like an open competition right now here in week 2.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. It won't surprise me if Jason Hooten does it by committee. And Gabe Pickens was 10 minutes a game last year. If he's 20 minutes a game this year, that would bode well for him going into his final 2 years at New Mexico State. And I think Chris Terrell is delighted to be playing in the big time.
Morris, the freshman. Sacco struggled from 3, but he continues to shoot him here tonight. Dumps it off in the corner, and Osborne bats it away.
But pretty good on-the-ball defense there by Augustine Ekwe.
10 points for Ekwe. He does have 3 personal fouls, 3 rebounds, 5 of 7 from the field. He guards Sacco, who flips it for Morris. 7 to shoot. Morris. Sacco lines up a 3. He's 0 for 3 now, and Ekwe grabs the miss.
Well, that was the best thing Ekwe's done all evening. He's been good all evening, but just to go guard the 3-point shooter and then go back and get the rebound.
Visech from the corner. He buries the 3.
And the Aggies needed that. It's a crucial time here in the game.
9 now for Visech. He's made a couple of 3s in the game. 3 for 5 for the field. He's trying to stay on the floor with his 3 personals. Avoids a foul there. Morris, deep 3 over Visech. Another rebound for Ekwe, his 4th.
And on that one, Adam, he went sideways to get the ball.
Visech from 3 and 1.
Well, he's surrounded by friends in crimson. Big shot by the Polish rifle, I'm calling him.
I promise you, nobody works harder than number 9 in crimson. Anthony Visech, the made 3 and 1 free throw on the other side here. The Lobo game's going to be fun, but don't overlook next Friday. Sanford is one of the better mid-major programs in the country the last handful of years. 4 straight 20-win seasons. They're in town next Friday. 4-point play. It's an 8-0 run now. 2 straight 3s for Visech. 3 Aggies in double figures. Jones back in. He has 20. 10 for Ekwe. Floater spins in for BJ Comer. Jalen Randall, Chris Terrell, Jamel Jones, Augustine Ekwe, and Anthony Visech on the floor. And an offensive foul is called on Terrell before he made the 3.
Well, that's the second or third time Gabe Pickens got called for a push-off where the dribbler is, and Elijah Elliott did as well. That's each Aggie point guard has been tagged with a push-off while he's dribbling.
Well, you said before half 2, Russ, that you want to see a shot on every possession. We haven't seen that consistently enough.
Sort of a surprising play there. The referee threw it to the Highlands player who wasn't looking, and the ball went out of bounds.
Terrell picking up. Pierce 75 feet away. Pierce bounces for Dix. Backing down Visech. Floater short, almost blocked by Malanga. Last touch by the Aggies. It will stay with Highlands.
Well, Sir Malanga stayed very active there. He almost blocked it, then went back and got a hand on it to keep it out of play.
The Aggies beat Highlands by 36 a year ago. They beat them by 49 2 years ago. Backdoor a layup, +1 for Dix. He beat Visech backdoor.
I think that's the third time Dix has gone beat the Aggies backdoor.
It's foul number 4 on Visecht. He's going to stay in here as Osborne comes in and replaces Randall. 4 on Mullen, 4 on Visecht, and 4 on Ekwe. Pickens will come in for Visecht now, so with 6:50 left, they will send him to the bench.
Well, and I've wondered about this, Adam. It's Chris Terrell and Gabe Pickens in at the same time together, and I think they'll be able to get away with this.
Cross court to Jones, spinning, 10-footer, good for Jamel Jones, who has 22.
Well, he looked like he'd lost his balance a little bit, but he sort of gathered himself and knocked it in.
Jason Hooten has said during his collegiate career as a head coach, he's never had a player average 20 a game in his program. Jamel Jones could be the first one.
Could be the first.
Was last touched by Osborne. A denial right there. The Aggies active with their hands again. Look, Osborne still in some pain. Got banged up earlier in the half, trying to battle through it here late in the game. The Aggie lead is 14, as high as 16 in this game. Malanga, another rebound, his 4th. Jones to Terrell. Trailer is Pickens. Picks up his dribble, swings it for Terrell. 2 point guards on the floor with Terrell and Pickens. Terrell around the Malanga screen. The skip to Osborne. Wide open, corner 3. Pinball's off. They dared him to shoot that.
He looks like he's limping to me, Adam, Jacoby Osborne. Yeah, he's in pain.
3 is off the mark for Pierce. Osborne having issues running down the floor. Pickens looked at him and didn't even throw it to him. Terrell to Osborne. Same look, same spot, and it's an air ball for Osborne. And they need to find a way to get him out of there. He is limping down the floor.
Well, that was, he's gutsy and he's tough, but that was probably, if his legs aren't 100%, he might not be shooting those.
Sacco had to go off his back. Here comes Terrell. Numbers if they hurry. Pickens, dump off. Malanga lays it in.
Perfect pass by Gabe Pickens.
And I'm not sure if it was Jason Hooten calling the timeout or if the officials finally said, we need to stop play because of Jacoby Osborne. He's having issues running down the floor right now. So it looks like it is a Jason Hooten timeout with 4:50 left. And Kyrese Mullen's going to pick him up and help him go to the medical table.
Well, you know, do you remember the alley-oop dunk that he had? That's when he first started the limping, and I wonder if he hurt something in his leg on that exact play, because that was when the limping started, and now he seems to have aggravated it.
This match is the Aggies' biggest lead tonight. Once again, 3 in double figures, led by Jamel Jones with 22. And I'm sure it is so much more comforting this year for Jason Hooten, knowing that you have somebody like Jamel Jones you can count on for 20 plus, potentially each and every night this year.
Well, that's right, and he's sort of hit the ground running, but it won't shock me if other Aggies step up and score.
Sacco can't catch it. Terrell trying to fire it ahead. I think Sacco fouled him. Yeah, it's a foul on Sacco at midcourt. Russ, we're going to go back to that Osborne alley-oop jam earlier. See if it came down awkwardly or a little funky.
And we'll need to let it run a little bit. See, that right there. Yeah. See, he landed.
Yeah, good point.
He landed on that left leg. Now, look. See, it's hard to tell if he's exhorting his teammates or if he's grimacing in pain there, or both.
It's 2 free throws the rest of the way for New Mexico State and for Highlands, both in the double bonus. Six for Chris Terrell. Did not start the game, but did start half two. It'll be interesting to watch going into Saturday. Would it be Chris Terrell potentially to start the game this weekend? We'll see. Johannes Kiersapu, number 21 and wide in the game for the first time for the Cowboys. Pierce picks up his dribble. Throws it out to Sacco. 4 to shoot. Kiersapu a deep three. That is good. A young man from Estonia who transferred in from Pittsburgh State in the MIAA. He was ice cold off the bench. Hadn't played until now. Ten to shoot for Terrell. Splits defenders, slaps it out for Jones, fires it to Randall. Randall a sidestep deep two, and he rims it through.
And if Jalen Randall can do that for the Aggies all year, and now I hope Jacoby Osborne will be back on Saturday, but the Aggies need a 6'5" swingman kind of scorer.
It's been a tough shooting night for Randall, just 1 for 4 for the field. Does have 3 rebounds, 2 helpers though. 17-point Aggie lead with 3 and change left. Cat backing down Malanga. Left-handed hook is no good, and Malanga collects. And Jones is bumped on the sideline by Dante Walker. So this will send us to our final media timeout. Aggies are finally pulling away. And Jamel Jones has a lot to do with it. He'll shoot 2 free throws on the other side. He has 22. Aggies lead 70-50. So they're going to roll out of the timeout with Terrell, Randall, Jones, Ekwe, and Pickens. Some other notables. Augustine Ekwe having a career game with 10 points, 5 rebounds. A lot of minutes because of the Juice Mims being unavailable. Meanwhile, Chris Terrell has played the bulk of the minutes at the point guard spot tonight. Terrell has played 20 minutes, 14 for Pickens. And Anthony Visech, who's got some foul issues right now, has really stepped up on offense with 13. Russ, to the casual basketball fan, how would you describe Jamel Jones's game?
Well, I think he's a throwback player in many ways. You know, he's not relying on dunking. He's not relying on between the legs dribble. He's crafty and he's smart. His timing is very good, and he's got a very good first step. I'll bet if you had the Aggies do a 100-yard dash, he would not finish near the top. But but in basketball, it's the first step that's crucial, and he's got a very good first step, and he's really smart.
9 for 16 from the field, 4 for 4 on free throws for Jamel Jones tonight. 2:35 left. Good high hedge by Ekwe, stolen by Terrell. Pickens cross court to Randall. Randall to the rim, and he will get free throws coming up.
Well, heads up play by Gabe Pickens.
Randall 2 for 2 for the line tonight. 4 for 4 for the year. He was 78% a year ago at Southern Indiana. This is a young man who is approaching 750 career points at the Division I level. So a nice weapon to bring off the bench for sure. Misses both free throws, but Ekwe keeps the possession alive. Now he's looking for a guard. He'll stuff it for Randall in the corner. Randall, step back 2, spins off. And it's grabbed by Cat for New Mexico Highlands. Aggies outscoring Highlands by 14 here in the second stanza. Led by only 5 at the break on a late 3 as well from Chris Terrell. Pickens pulls it in. Jones in the forecourt, under 2 left.
Nope.
Jones's 3 is no good. Ekwe was trying to jam it potentially. It went off a leg of a Cowboy and out of bounds. Setched coming in. And Randall going off. Derek Eide comes in for New Mexico Highlands. First action for the junior out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. Jones going to work on Eide. Slings it in the corner to Terrell. Ekwe, the handoff to Pickens. Deep 3 for Gabe Pickens is shallow. That's the first shot attempt, believe it or not, for Pickens in the game, Russ.
Yeah, he's been, but I think he's, he had a couple turnovers early, but since then he's bounced back. He's been pretty good. After his 2 turnovers in the first few minutes, he's been solid since then.
And Pickens bumps Marcus Pierce, so 2 free throws with 7 left on the timer. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Russ, but it seems like consistently throughout the night, it's been long, grinded out defensive possessions for New Mexico State. The shot clock consistently has been inside of 10 and inside of 5 for this Cowboys offense.
Yes, I think that's right. And I think if the Aggies can, just iron out the unnecessary fouls, that will really help them on Saturday.
They won by 11 last Tuesday. They lead by 18 tonight.
And Jason Newton going with 4 guards here in the last minute, just for ball handling, no turnovers.
And the forecourt goes Pickens. Inside of a minute left. Jason Hooten telling the rest of the guys to clear out. Use clock and then operate with Pickens. Pickens sneaks inside, finger roll no good. Grabbed by the Cowboys and Dix. And then poked by Jones, bodies flying. And Jamel Jones is trying to find a teammate ahead for Ekwe. Aggies running, Pickens, and then Setched who flushes it.
Well, very unselfish play by Gabe Pickens, who had an easy layup and gave it to Anthony Vasech. But did you see Jamel Jones there's 20 seconds left and he's diving on the floor after helping out and causing a ruckus.
Deep 3 banked in for Marcus Pierce. The Aggies will hold the ball. They're going to win this one by 16. Final score 74-58. A little bit close early. 6 lead changes in that first half. 2 ties as well. The Aggies score 45 in half 2. And they get 24 from Jamel.